Hi, I'm Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn, and you are ready for another Mayor's Hour. My partner in crime, Jack Harris, and I are ready to revert to our childlike, although some would say we act like children on a regular basis. Certainly our wives would.
Oh, you better believe that.
But we're here at MOSI, the Museum of Science and Industry here in Tampa. This is a world-class science facility. And if you have children, or in my case, multiple children, and you want a place to come where they can really get a hands-on experience here at the Museum of Science and Industry, you got to come on out. This is an amazing experience, Jack.
And if you haven't been here in a while, I might add, you need to come here because this has grown exponentially over the years. I used to bring my son, who's now 22, but when he was a kid, we used to come out here all the time. He loved to come out here. There was so much to do way over there in that building. We're right now in what I would call the new buildings. We're going to find out how new these are. But this thing is practically doubled or more in size and in experiences over the past few years. I have not been in here at all, and I come out here for the chocolate festival every year.
Well, that's sort of science. You're going to see some great stuff today. We're going to meet with Whit Ostrenko, who's the CEO out here. You're going to see your mayor in some death-defying stunts.
Oh, brother, with his necktie on, I'm sure.
Yes, and that would not include running for office. I mean, this is really death-defying. That's why I'm a little bit sweaty today. And if you notice, Petunia here is perfectly dry, not a hair out of place. He didn't defy anything except the shade. So, stay with us, we'll be right back. Yeah, you're making me proud. That's a good thing. Let's fight to the death, all right? All right. 2, 3. Wow. Rabbits will fully inflate and you're ready to enter the water. We're back with the mastermind behind the Museum of Science and Industry. He's a longtime friend of ours, Whit Ostrenko, who's the CEO and president of this great facility out here. Whit, you've been at this for a long time. Tell us what we're looking at. What is this place all about?
Well, you know, MOSI, we have fun by making this science stuff and technology stuff real for everybody that lives here. We're in the Kids in Charge. It's the largest children's science center in North America.
Wow.
Only
Really?
Mexico City's got a bigger one in the Western Hemisphere.
You heard that.
Right here in
Tampa. Largest
Tampa.
in North America, right here on Fowler Avenue across from USF in Tampa.
I did not know
Well,
that.
they're bigger children's museums, but they cover all kinds of subjects. But this is just dealing with science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We call it STEAM.
As I was saying, I used to bring my son Jackson out here often because he loved to come out here. We experienced the hurricane winds and all the many things are out here. I remember when you had the bodies in here that first time.
Yeah, that was
turned out to be rather controversial and all that.
14 million people have come through MOSI in the last 25 years.
Wow. And is that how old it is, 25 years
Well, it's
now?
about 30 years old at this site. I came 5 years after the building of it, and it's been straight up ever since. It's been a lot of fun.
And what's the origin of MOSI? How did this begin?
Well, it started in 1955 by an act of state legislation, and a group of local Tampa people got a document to say, you know, we're going to build a think it was a science and history facility at that time. So it's had a couple places, and finally in 1980, we opened the first 65,000 square foot building. Now it's 73 acres and 380, it was the 8th largest science center in the United States.
Wow, that is remarkable. And like I say, I've been out here for the Chocolate Festival, and I saw things happening over here, but I wasn't aware of how acute the activities
Well,
are.
you can see the great stuff. We're sitting right in the middle of this brand new exhibit called Slippery Science. PNC Bank, they're wonderful. They've funded this experience for preschoolers to learn science and math. And we do it in partnership with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And it's all about friction, all about speed, all about reaction time. And it's fun for all ages, but it's our newest exhibit.
Yeah, I've looked around and I've seen things that I don't know, and I have a college education. I can imagine what it's like for these kids because obviously it's oriented toward them. I'm just looking past you now, flip a coin, heads or tails, tells you about odds and probability of things happening like that, so it is.
You know, we started off, kids, first thing they want to do is run through the whole place. So we give them our activate area is this big iconic stuff, big 1,000-to-1 gear ratios and big giant levers to try and pull one team against another team, get that energy out of them. Then we give them a little investigate area so they can become a little bit more of a scientist. Giant microscope right off to my left, where you can look at some really cool stuff in motion picture, speed up things and slow them down. And then finally, after you get them cooled down, then we got this creative area where you can actually create things. Brain teasers, which some of them I still don't know how to do.
Well, we'll bypass that one.
No teasing going on. But
no brains.
When did all of this open on this side of the entrance?
Believe it or not, when I first came here, we put together a little plan. It was a 15-year plan, and everybody goes, "You can't predict what's going to happen in 15 years." So I said, "Well, I can't build a $100 million institution in under 15 years, so it's going to take a while." So built in 1980, first building. The next project, the main science center, was built in 1995, and then this building was built in 2005.
And then the exceptional special things that you've had out here from time to time, like the Bodies exhibit and some of the other things, and of course the Chocolate Festival every year and
events.
Things
it's a great
like
party
that,
place, I hate to say it, but we have over 200 events a year for corporations, for recognition parties, we had Dr. Keku with 1,300 people came to listen to a physics program. He's a star on TV like you guys are. So, but
yeah, but we don't talk about physics. I guarantee you that.
Well, he makes it fun and understandable, and that's Mosey's position. Take hardcore research, take the general public, and try and interpret it together. We're here to really try and get kids interested in careers in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. That's where all the great jobs of the future are. That's what we need to depend on to build great cities, to build great health institutions. We got to get this next generation excited about this stuff, so you and I can ride off into the sunset and be taken care of.
I noticed you were looking at him.
I know. I was like, well, I don't know.
Well, you got a long time before you're into the sunset. I'm getting pretty close.
It took me too long to get here. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, that's the amazing thing that boggled my mind when we came out here. I wasn't expecting that big of a crowd. I remember the old days going in. You had pretty decent crowds out there, but I looked off to my right getting ready for the zip line when I was coming in. I thought, where are they going to put the cameras? I mean, it's packed today, and today's just an average day.
25% of our audience are under the age of 19. 25% of our audience are my age, 65 and over. That's a heck of a nice, even spread. We appeal to everybody. We appeal to kids who know how to play, and then we appeal to adults with kid-like minds, like ours.
Now, all these kids here, today's the first day of school in Hillsborough County. Are these all truants?
They are. They don't even go to school. They're homeschoolers.
Are they really?
Oh,
okay.
So
there was a legitimate reason why they're all here.
The whole parking lot is filled with cars. They're all parents and their kids looking at all of the science programs and technology programs and engineering programs and math programs that we can teach homeschooled kids about those subjects. Not every parent is conversant in all those subjects, so we are.
That's great.
See, we can give certification, we can give classes on anything we want.
I thought they were skipping like Jack and I used to
That is what a boon this is to people engaged in homeschooling,
yeah.
because they can learn so incredibly well, particularly the very young ones.
Probably the largest education program in any science center in the country. Our summer science camp was oversubscribed this summer. It was ahead by 22% growth. So, and that's what it's about. It's not about an exhibit in you. It's about people interacting with you. And you're going to see some pretty wild, we call them edutainers. They're entertainers that can educate you in a totally fun way. But that's coming up.
From here, I mean, how can you expand on what you have already?
Well, you know, we have a few ideas. The need for science in the future, there are 4,000 empty science and technology jobs in Tampa Bay. 4,000, and it's all the stuff that we're doing to educate, we're still lacking those jobs that need to be filled. Our future is to create new jobs by creating inventors in our idea zone, get them to think about things they can do as innovators in Tampa Bay. Make this a hotbed of science and technology.
So how is this building funded? Who are the, I mean, I know there's public participation, private participation.
It's four-legged stool. We have an endowment that's the shortest leg. We're trying to build our endowment. Government is 6% supporting the Science Center. And the rest is
largely the city and the county?
City and the county, a little bit from the state of Florida. And then the second largest is our contributed income from corporations. That's why you'll see PNC Bank.
Sure, yeah.
We're proud of corporate logos
Absolutely,
at Mosey.
yeah, that's fine.
Tampa Bay Lightning,
Yeah.
you know. And then the largest is earned income, 90%. We're off the charts for science centers across the country. There's 3 of us at the top of the 200 science centers that earn our own way.
Wow.
The other thing I was thinking about is from the standpoint of what's happening here, there's certain things you're known for. I'll tell you one thing I love when you guys brought that light rail out here, the train from Siemens.
Yeah.
They
We
had
just
that
happen
thing
to
out
have a
here.
light rail that goes right through the properties.
CSX line.
Oh,
Just in
I forgot
case
about
anybody
that
thought of a location to bring the
or
light
something
rail.
like that. But I know there's been a butterfly exhibit.
Second one in the country. We had an exhibition on Florida butterflies. Butterflies you can grow here in Tampa. All you have to do is plant the right plants. We'll show you how, and you can have butterflies all over your yard, and hummingbirds, and birds.
Wow.
And we're here to really teach people how to stay in touch with the entire universe, particularly their own environment at their home, how to be conservation-wise in water and electricity. All this science and technology stuff, you know it well. You can save money, you can make money, you can learn how to do your own apps if you want. You can learn all that at the Science Center.
We're going to be back in a moment. We've got some really cool things to see at the Museum of Science and Industry. This is a great facility. Congratulations. How many years have you been here?
26.
26 years. This is the guy who's put all this together and shepherded it through the good times and the bad times, and it's good times now. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Coco here. So everyone knows that IMAX theaters deliver a better movie experience. And with the right movie, they can take you far away from your everyday reality. What you might not know is there are some IMAX theaters that take a whole different approach. You won't find them in a multiplex, and you won't find them in every city. They are IMAX Dome theaters, also known as OmniMax. And simply walking into one of these special theaters will give you a unique experience even before you sit down.
Whoa.
They have reclined and steeply raked seats at an angle of up to 30 degrees. And in the middle of the seating area, an ultra-wide or fisheye lens IMAX projection system comes up on an elevator from the projection booth below. It projects images in a wide panorama onto the dome screen, which is also tilted at 30 degrees, and takes up approximately 80% of a hemisphere, filling a horizontal field of view of 180 degrees and a vertical field of view averaging 125 degrees. For an average person, that's practically your entire field of view, and most of that is in your peripheral vision, where motion detection is extra sensitive. And the sense of motion really contributes to that feeling of being in whatever world you're experiencing in the theater. Just like in real life, you have to move your eyes or turn your head to take in the entire picture. It's total immersion. And the sound system, with speakers located all over the theater, also puts you in the center of the action. There are only around 60 of these IMAX dome theaters on the entire planet. So if you're looking for a really cool experience you can't get everywhere, check it out. And if there isn't one in your city, you should keep it in mind for next time you take a trip, because there's no place like Dome.
Welcome back to the next segment here at MOSI, the Museum of Science and Industry. You heard from Whit Ostrenko, the great president and CEO. Jack, here we are on Mission Moonbase, which is really pretty cool.
It is, and like they said when we were walking over here, we were about to go onto the surface of the moon.
Yeah, I thought that was a city council meeting. I'm only kidding, council members. Joining us today is Tony Pelias, who runs this part of the exhibit.
Runs the moon.
Yeah, runs the moon. Man on the moon.
He's the lunar chief.
Tell us what we're looking at. Tell us, obviously this is made up to look like the surface of the moon, I'm assuming.
Yes, and right now we are in the year 2071, and this is a glimpse.
And I'm still the mayor. There we go. Now we're talking.
After term limits, you'd be certainly outdoing Greco by a long shot, again and again and again.
You know, us Irish mayors, we never leave.
And the idea behind this is to provide the inspiration that we can actually establish a human presence on the moon, and this is a way to get families and kids excited about the idea of creating the technologies to make it happen.
The interesting thing is, this has been sort of a political issue regarding NASA on what the next mission is going to be, because there are so many people that say we should be colonizing the moon. We should be not necessarily colonizing, but establishing a moon base at this point. So you guys are really ahead of the curve on that.
We are, and that's part of the fun thing about imagining the future. And one thing that, whether the order is asteroids, moon, Mars, or whatever, one thing that we do know is that the moon represents a very important stepping stone towards human colonization in the rest of the solar system.
And what's your background?
My background is, since I'm director of education, I have to know everything, and I have to be smarter than everybody as well.
Well, with the two of us, that's not hard.
You're way ahead of the curve on that one.
So you're an educator by trade?
Yes, educator, but also in the sciences and deeply involved in technology. So it's important. As far as when we created a mission moon base with our NASA funding, we decided we were going to use augmented reality, which is one of the things that we added. We had touchscreen monitors as well. We used the 3D printer to create the base. So we decided that we needed to use high-level technologies to actually create mission moon base, and also to have technologies that just to provide an idea of what the future would be like. And
so this was funded by NASA?
Yes,
that's
it was
great.
funded by NASA.
That's terrific to get NASA involved here, because I guess it helps them in explaining what ultimately they are trying to achieve in the future.
Exactly, and part of the thing is that there's so much happening within NASA. There's scientists and engineers all working on just a wide variety of different projects. We want kids especially to really get an idea that they can be part of NASA. Since people think just astronauts are the only people that actually ever get to do anything, but NASA's filled with just tremendously exciting career opportunities for kids, and they're our future, and we are just constantly want to explore and move on, and whether it's underseas or on other planets, NASA's there.
Well, I can tell you, as the father of a almost teenager, I am convinced that there are aliens. And in this case, they've invaded her body, so I'm looking forward to a great couple years as a teenage girl.
For sure. What are some of the things here that are similar to on the moon? I mean, we have our own rather shallow complex of what it's all about, perhaps the problems with gravity, the problems with cold or extreme heat. What are some of the simulations that you can achieve here?
Well, it's difficult to achieve low gravity. We sort of get away by changing the flooring, but as far as the main thing that we simulate as far as the lunar colony is the fact that everyone has to work together, and that they can't order for pizza, so they have to raise their own fish. So we have a simulation of raising space fish as well as crops and living off the land. And that's one of the exciting things about the moon, is the fact that you can literally take the soil in what looks essentially like a dead world, take the soil and extract all the vital minerals and elements that you need in order to survive on the moon.
Beer?
No beer. But you could get the water and then grow the crops and all that. So you could have beer on the moon.
I'm ready. We're ready for a moon landing. Because it does. Yeah, this is something they've talked about, because there is so much to learn from the moon once you can establish a base there and really explore into what the surface does hold, or under the surface, what kind of minerals, what kind of things that might be helpful in some ways back in America, to bring them back here in small amounts, whatever they might be, to America or to our planet. Mm-hmm. And I guess you all are into all of that kind of thing here.
You know, this is an opportunity. It gets people talking and having these conversations about, you know, what the future holds for us, and we make our own future. You know, we realize that the objective of Moonbase is to get kids to think about STEM fields and think about science and engineering, but you know, it's also important to maintain the idea that we make our own future, and if we want it to be exciting and that we're exploring and that we're developing new areas and making the world a better place, then this is, you know, really what Moonbase is about.
Well, I think my future is about to include a spacesuit, so stay with us. We'll be right back, and you're going to learn more about the moon and what goes on here at Mission Moonbase. All right, Jack, we're back. We're about to launch something, not sure what. Tony, the lunar surface spacesuits.
Lunar surface activity
suits. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we see here. Tell us what we're going to be doing.
Well, part of the thing is we want to be immersive, and what we do is we bring school groups in and to do a variety of different scenarios. So right now, one of the scenarios is that we suffered a micrometeor impact. So basically, we have a hole. And so your jobs are to contain the leak, and so you'll have just a few seconds to contain the leak. You'll have to adjust the valves so that it's closed by on the valve itself is black, matching the black line.
Okay.
So
now does duct tape work in space?
Duct tape works anywhere.
Oh, he's right about that. That does it.
If we had duct tape, Jack and I could fix this thing. Now, are you handy? Because I'm not.
No, I am not at all. So this is going to be one aborted mission.
Yeah, this is going to be like Daryl and Daryl trying to fix a space shuttle. All right, so we just stick our arms in here.
Stick your arms in there. You're going to see it's going to be like getting inside a space helmet. And so I will begin the stopwatch.
Okay, and tell me again what the black thing.
You need to match the black line to the black portion of the valve. So ready, begin.
Match the what? Wait a minute.
All right, I'm good. Come on, slow-mo.
What am I doing here? I don't even know what I'm doing.
Turning the valve to match the black on the valve and the black on the...
There you go, you got it.
Oh, right there, I see, yeah. All right.
You get both valves?
I'm good.
No, where's the other one?
Oh, you only had one.
Yeah, I've only got one. They wouldn't trust me with more than one valve in here. This is incredible.
This is one small step for man, one backward step for mankind.
I think you're right. This is incredible.
All right, Tony, what else do you need us to fix?
Well, my car could be washed. But so you've managed to complete this particular scenario. But usually, as far as Moonbase, we have a wide variety of different jobs here on the moon. You have to take care of the fish. You have to deal with observing the astronomy, as far as looking for solar flares, working with the robotics and repairing the robots. All of these things are different jobs that we have, taking care of the sick people that are on the moon. So there's a lot of different jobs. So you've managed to do one job out of many here on Mission Moonbase.
All right.
It's time for a break.
Yeah, that's right. We're union guys. We need a break. All right. Stay with us. I'm about to go on a zip line and risk my life.
Uh-oh.
For the good of this show.
Uh-oh.
My partner over here is not, just for the record. So stay with us.
You got to have a play-by-play guy. You got to have a guy who can finish the show in case anything happens.
Exactly, and he was just waiting for me to fall off that zip line. So stay with us. We're going to get out of our suits here, and we're going to take the mountain. All right, we'll be right back.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the funniest thing. Helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back to another segment of the Mayor's Hour. Obviously, I'm here with my pal Jack, who you notice has no harness on.
Where's my harness?
Just for the record, I want the world to know. But more importantly, I'm here with the woman my life is in her hands. Vivian McElrath. She is the, community?
Relations coordinator here at Moose.
Community Relations. All right, and she's got me all hooked up. I'm the only doofus who goes down a zip line with a tie on.
This is Swagger.
Swagger.
Mr. Swagger, according to MacDill Air Force Base.
That's right.
We're going to call you Zippy from now on.
Yeah. Well, I've been called much worse, so you ready to...
I'm ready to do this.
All right, Petunia, you stay here.
I'm doing play-by-play.
Okay.
I'm a talker, not a walker.
All right. Well, you sit over there with that young man right there in the children's. Okay. Be careful of this guy when he comes to sit by you. All right?
Let's go, Zippy.
All right, we're going.
All right, we're going to take this step by step. Once you get on the stairs, that's your first obstacle.
All right. Who talked me into this?
All right. Good so far?
I'm good.
12 feet up. I'm going to go up to 24. And now we're going to go over one obstacle. This is our rope bridge. It's probably one of the easiest ones, so that way if anyone that's young that wants to run on a zip line, this is a very easy obstacle to cross. And so we're going to do this.
We go two at a time?
Yep, absolutely. Come on over.
It's like one of those things in an old Tarzan movie up there. He's not doing too well without walking across the board ladder right now. The board bridge, or whatever you call that thing. Now he's onto one of the platforms. Whoever designed this was a sadist. There's no question about it. Now they're making their way toward the end of the platform where you get hooked onto the zip line.
So what we do here to make sure for the safety of all our guests is we go through a series of checks. We go through 4 different checks to make sure that A, your sling line is put on properly, B, your harness is on properly, C, the line is clear, and D, that you know all the rules before you go on.
Okay.
So here we go.
All right, sir. Right on around this way. Make sure you watch your head, so pressure on this possibly. I'm gonna have you stand right there while I go with some checks. On belay.
Lay on, check one.
Check on one.
Check two. Check two.
Check on two.
All right, Mayor Zippy is ready to get out there now. Time for conversation is over. It's time for action now.
Stand up there or something?
Mayor's hooked up, and again, the first ever to do this in a necktie, as he, well, does everything. And he is ready to go, about to be released.
Zippy.
And here he comes, he's off. Oh, look at that. No hands, unbelievable. The mayor on the zip line. The best 10 seconds of your life right there. Up to 12, 13, and he's in. Actually, it's about 15, 16 seconds it takes to go from one end to the other. What a thrill that's got to be.
Back down the stairs.
No, sir, you gotta go up the stairs.
Oh, going up the stairs.
double back.
Oh, good. This is great fun.
Check on one. Check on two.
Now, this isn't just a one-way trip, it's round trip.
All right. I'll see you when I get done.
About 18 seconds over, and I'm guessing about 18 seconds back. So he has made the turnaround and getting ready for the return trip from the top tower up there. So here comes Mayor Zippy now. Yes, indeed. He's about a third of the way through, looking around, taking in the view. He's got his hands on it this time. He's not doing it with no hands. And Mayor Zippy is almost at the platform. He's in.
Perfect. Perfect.
He has done it. Round trip on the zip line here at Mosey. And we'll find out just how thrilling it is when the mayor comes down here, Mayor Zippy, and tells us all about it.
How was it?
Oh, that was great. A lot of fun.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right. Vivian, that was great.
I'm glad you had so much fun. We're so glad to have you here at the museum.
I'm sorry my partner embarrassed himself by not going up
It's
there.
okay. He doesn't have as much swagger as you do.
Doing play-by-play.
He was doing play-by-play. That's pretty cool. This is a really neat event. I had a lot of fun doing that. It's hot out here.
It is. It is. Definitely a lot of fun, though, in the fall, anytime. Anytime here at the museum. We're open 365 days a year.
That's great. Well, come on out here, ride a great zip line. Vivian will take good care of you. We're heading to the stair something or other.
The stair stage. The stair stage.
The stair stage.
There you go.
See, I didn't have my oxygen mask on up there, so we're going to the stair stage. Stay with us. Got the need for speed. We'll see you. I'm the mayor. This is Jack Harris.
I'm the flunky.
Many of you hear on the radio every morning. And we are filming the Mayor's Hour here today at Mosey. Isn't Mosey great? Don't you guys like Mosey?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Oh, hey. And this water's good too, right? Water. Yeah. All right.
I'm moving away.
No.
Oh, yeah, that might be the safest.
But you missed the mayor on the zip line. That's about how it went.
Yeah, a little bit.
You made it all the way to the other side and back. Usually
That's good. Yeah, usually you get stuck at least one way, you know? So that's good.
No, it was too hot out there. So what are we doing here? What's going on?
Well, it's funny you should ask. You see, this is my associate, Dr. Skoshiny. We've been acquaintances for a good long while, but the problem is with this guy over here is that he's been working with fire for his whole life. And he's always been claiming, you know, that fire is better than ice. And I don't think that there's any way that that could truly be a possibility. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
you know?
yeah, whatever.
Absolutely, okay? So I think, you know, why don't we let you sort of, you also have some few things here. So why don't you show the people, try to show them what fire even holds a torch to ice,
I'm way ahead of you, look. fire is way better than poor little ice over there. Because I mean, think about fire. Where would we be without it, you know? Let me see if, oh, there we go. Where would we be without fire? Think about our cavemen, our ancestors. You know, without fire, they'd still be sitting in the dark. They couldn't use fire to cook their meat, you know, it kept us from contracting diseases. We need fire, it's revolutionary. It's the beginning of any civilization. So, what do your little ice cubes have to say about that? Actually, you know what? Let me show you something really cool.
Oh, you'll show us something.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, you know, that's why I'm
please.
here, to show you all something. Now, fire is the byproduct of a chemical reaction, okay? And like any chemical reaction, it wants to continue itself. It wants to continue burning. So, fire needs three things. And if those three things are present, then you will have fire. Let's see. You need oxygen, you need a fuel source, and you need a spark. So let's see. Now, a fuel source can be almost anything. Hold on. Need a little bit of the flame.
Hey, you got the little
It can
fire
be
burning
almost
there, buddy.
anything.
Wow!
It can be almost anything now. A fuel source can be gasoline, kerosene, ethanol. All these things are fuel sources. Now, I'm not going to tell you a fuel source, but let's see. We have the O2, the air, and we have the fuel source, and we have the spark. So we have fire. So let me think. Is your ice that simple?
Oh, simple.
Yeah.
You just got your own thing simple. Okay. Why don't we think for a second, guys? I mean, you know, standard ice is just a solid form of what? You can say it out loud, you know.
Water.
Water! Oh, very good. Water, yes. And last time I checked, water covered like 70% of something really important. Oh, man, what was that? Oh, that's right, the Earth, the planet that we're on. Also, your own bodies.
Oh, why would you
So
say
I
a thing
think,
like that?
you know,
Get it out
you
of me
need
now.
water to survive.
Oh.
Ipso facto, you need ice to survive. Let me just show you. You guys know what dry ice is, right? Yeah, dry ice is really special. It's much colder than regular ice. And the reason why it's called dry ice is because it doesn't melt, you know? It actually goes straight from a solid into a gas, you know? It's a process called sublimation. And the reason I'm telling you so much about dry ice is that we don't have any here. We have something much more amazing. This right here is liquid nitrogen, ladies and gentlemen. Liquid nitrogen is like dry ice's big brother, you know? The one that dry ice looks up to his whole life. So let me show you how it works here. Now we'll take a little beaker here and we're going to pour some of the liquid nitrogen into it. Now liquid nitrogen has a boiling point of 309 degrees below zero. So essentially anything it comes into contact with, it's going to evaporate. Oh, there we go. Very good. Now, because it is so cold, I of course need my protective cryo gloves to handle it. So we have this little beaker here. Now of course, Mr. Buckhorn, Mayor Buckhorn, if you see something like this, what would you say it was doing?
Boiling.
Boiling, absolutely right, of course. And you know what? It is. And you would expect, you see something boiling, it's going to be what? It's going to be hot, of course, right? Hold out your hand for me, please. Tell me, is this hot?
Nope.
No, it is very cold, right?
Very cold.
Extremely cold, that's right. Essentially, anything this comes into contact with, it's going to start evaporating. In fact, liquid nitrogen is a very difficult, annoying chemical to store because it does evaporate at such a low point. And anything it touches, it's going to evaporate immediately, just like that. So, on its own, way cooler than fire, okay?
Okay, you think it's so cool, but I have something to show these people that you can't even top. Okay, how many people here have ever heard of a fire tornado? No, couple? Okay. As you should know, they come from wildfires. Now, wildfires burn for a very long time over a very large distance of space. And occasionally, there will be a swirling gust of wind, much like in a regular tornado, that will come down and pick up the fire. Now, I could talk about this all day, but I'd much rather show you people. Now, fire, like I said, needs a couple things. Let me give this some more juice. All right, then. Now, fire, like I said, needs a couple things, but regular fire tornado, it comes down and it starts to spin the fire around. And as it spins around, it sort of picks itself up into a tail of fire. Oh, no, wait, hold on. We need a little bit more chemical. Give it a second. Give it a second. Okay.
It's more than a second. Why don't you put straight on plate?
Because it needs to stay burning. It needs something to absorb
Yeah,
it.
okay, whatever.
There we go. That's a much better flame now. Now, fire tornado. Oh! Now the air begins to swirl and it picks up the fire. And as the fire picks up, it pulls in more O2, making it burn even harder. Mr. Mayor Buckhorn, could you put your hand right here? Now, when it's not spinning, you can't feel it. But as it begins to spin, you can feel the heat more, can't you? That's because it's burning hotter. And that is the power of the flame tornado. Yeah, top that, Mr. Frost, with a little ice.
Okay, wow, so cool, amazing. I'm really impressed. Tell you what, we'll get some more nitrogen here. Okay, very good. Pour some more in the beaker. Now, nitrogen is good for many things, many things. I'll tell you what we do. We'll put some in this green bowl as well. Very good. Now, of course, you see it's peeling on the ground a bit there, but it's evaporating. Aha! Hey, very good. Okay, so nitrogen is so cold that most things it comes into contact with, it's going to, you know, pretty much either super chill them, or we get a few more chill than we want there, or it's going to cause something else. So let's say we take a balloon like this. Now look at them in comparison to each other. You know, you could only fit like one balloon into this ball, you think? Not so much. Not when there is nitrogen inside. Let's find out here. So we take and we begin to press the balloon into the nitrogen. Now as you see, it is actually getting smaller. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. The balloon is actually compressing into like a pancake. That is amazing. Here, we take another one. We'll see if we can fit two in there.
There's no way you can get more than one balloon in there.
Oh my goodness. Just like the last one, also compressing. Yes, so no way, huh? How about everywhere? Okay, very good. Now, personally, if I saw a balloon that was getting flat as a pancake, I would say that the air was getting sucked out of the balloon. So, how many of you think that I'm taking the air out of the balloon? How many people think so?
How many people think he's a witch?
No, that is not the case, okay? It will be wizard, clearly, okay?
Oh, okay,
now,
so
ladies and
sorry.
gentlemen, if I was taking the air out of the balloons, which is a good theory, like I said, would I be able to do this? Oh, would you look at that? That looks like a fully formed balloon to me. So there's one. And here we have number two here. Aha! And last but not least, here, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, help me, help me. Ah, very good. Ah. 3 fully formed balloons. I was not taking the air out of the balloons there, ladies and gentlemen. Liquid nitrogen is so cold that I was actually freezing the air molecules and compressing them. I could fit maybe 50 to 100 balloons in this one ball right here because they're becoming infinitely flat. Now, we've had these chips here sitting in the nitrogen, so what we do is we take one from here, and you see nitrogen there? Oh, look at that. That's so much more. Here, have one. Ready? Now, crunch it on up. Oh, yeah. Here, let the smoke out. Ah. Very good.
Smoking on the job.
So, cannot compare no nitrogen.
Oh,
over that, okay?
I am so tired of you talking all this mismatched information about fire. It's the final straw there, Frost. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a whoosh tube. Now, in the beginning, I told you fire needs 3 things. So, in this whoosh tube, there's a limited supply of O2. So, of course, you think the fire is going to go out, it's going to be done. But I want to show you something very cool about it. Now, fire, like you also know, it wants to continue that chemical reaction. So, the fire is not just going to go out. Watch this now. Hold on. Get a nice good amount of chemicals in there. Now, chemical works better if it's been shaken up a little bit. So if you would please join me so we all know how long to shake it. Okay, ready? You put the lime in the coconut, you shake it all around. You put the lime in the coconut, you call me in the morning. Okay now, okay. That should be nice and shaken up. So, pay very close attention to what the fire does because I will talk about it a little bit more later. Okay, we ready? We're watching? Okay. Oh, wow. So, you all saw the fire go down into the jugs, consume all of the O2, all of the fuel, and shoot back up looking for the 3 things that it needs, which was, I mean, that was very cool to see, but what if we had, you know, a smaller scale, a smaller way to do this? Well, then there'd be a lot more pressure. You could even create a rocket out of it. Actually, that's a very good idea. I think we're going to do that. Now, this is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of angling towards the cart.
Yeah, okay.
Shoot it that way towards the wall.
Oh, this way, okay.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, you guys remember the... Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm human shield here. I'm human
Okay,
shield.
away from the baby. Okay.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that should be enough. Now, how does fire give us thrust? Well, inside the bottle, the gas, it expands because fire is a gas. Not as it expands, it pushes the air out of the container, giving the container thrust. Now, it's fun to talk about, but again, I'd love to show you all. Now, let's see. You put the lime in the coconut, you shake it all around, you
Shake
put the
it,
lime in
shake
the
it,
coconut.
shake it
you
like
follow
a
in the
Polaroid
morning.
picture.
All right, that should be enough. This is going to be quite fun for everyone.
Except the people who lose their arm hair.
Yeah, you know.
Mainly you.
I'm not going to lose my arm here. You're so crazy. Now,
Oh, if you say so.
just like in a very large container, the fire is going to shoot up looking for the 3 things that it needs. But
Okay.
this is going to be much cooler. So, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, goodness.
Stop that, you know, Frost. See if you can do better than a rocket.
Oh, boy. Well, I will admit to you, Doctor, or should I say Mr. Scotch over there, you know, that was pretty cool, I'll be honest with you, but I think I have something here that's maybe much cooler. So, we take another beaker here, we put some nitrogen into it. Okay, very good. So, you talk about rockets, right?
Yeah.
Rockets? Oh, yes, you know, rockets. Everyone associates with fire, you know. But I have something here. Now, this is standard 2 liter. One of my favorite things about liquid nitrogen is that when it actually evaporates, when it turns into a gas, it takes up about 700 times its size from when it was in the liquid form. Now, to give you an example, if I were to fill up this entire 2 liter of soda with liquid nitrogen, I would need a 1,400 liter bottle of soda in order to store all of that. Now, you know, as far as I'm aware, they don't sell 1,400 liter bottles of soda, but it's America, so give it some time. Don't lose hope yet. So, in the meantime, what we will do is we will put some of the nitrogen into this bottle here, okay? Very good. Now I need you gentlemen to please come all the way over here. All the way over
Right
to
behind
my good
you.
body, okay?
They want to be on Scorch's side anyway.
Pull this clover for me, please.
No, oh, almost your fingers.
There we go, very good. So, we come stand over here. Now I'm going to form a seal. Not like a Heidi Klum Kiss on the Roll seal, but a vacuum seal. Now we play a game called 3, 2, 1, hope it doesn't blow up. 3, 2, 1.5, 1!
You aimed that right at me!
Yeah, I know, it's big finale, you know? So, all that pressure you saw building up in there is what that caused them to push out of the exhauster and have it launched out of the rocket, which is why ice is clearly superior to fire. Give it up! Very good. Okay. I will take this back. Very good. So, do you finally admit that ice is superior?
Never! But you know what I will admit? I think that, you know, I mean, it was really cool, the balloons and the rockets and all, oh man,
You know what,
everything.
Scotch, I have to admit, your stuff was pretty awesome as well.
Thank you so much,
You know,
Scotch.
maybe we don't have to fight about this. Maybe we could do a show right here at Mosey.
Would people watch a show like that, though?
But probably not.
No one would watch a show.
Very good. So,
Okay.
that is just a little sample for you then, Mr. Bear. Yes. So, yes, that is that.
There we go. How about it, everybody?
Yes. Very good.
And you're back over here.
All right. Good job.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Good job. Stay with us. We'll see you in the next episode of the Mayor's Hour. How about it, everybody? Weren't they great? Yeah.
All in together now. we can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. We rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We roll it out, cause we know how to skate. We'll cut it down, cause we know what to eat. We'll swap it out, we eat healthy stuff. Can we do it? Yeah, you know that we can. Can we do it?
Just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your child healthier. Search We Can to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Jack, we're about to wrap up one more segment of the Mayor's Hour. As you can tell, there's a lot of activity here at Mosi. This is a busy place. But what a great asset for this community.
This is. It's amazing. Like I say, I haven't been out here a lot for years when I used to bring my son when he was little because he loved it so much, but it has expanded exponentially. It's like 3 times what it was when I used to bring him out here. I did my TV show from here for a month, every day, the old Harrison Company. When we had to leave Busch Gardens, we weren't set up to go to the mall at that point. We came here and they allowed us to do the show here every day.
Well, we're just so thankful that they are successful. I mean, as all of you know, I have 2 young children, and you know, I've spent a good bit of time here over the last couple of years as my daughters have, you know, learned to love science, and it's a great educational tool for our kids.
And one of the best, and Whit was talking about it earlier in the show, but it truly is one of the best in all of North America. One of the best on the planet, really.
Absolutely.
From the standpoint of education and science and things of that nature, it's unparalleled.
Absolutely.
And it's like you said at the beginning, this is a tremendous asset for our community.
It is. And once again, Tampa does it better than anybody.
Yep, I think you're right about that. Did it very well with the Republican National Convention. I know this past, well, we're taping now this past week, but several weeks ago, when people see this, the announcement came down about the economic impact. And I think it was direct was something like 200 and some million, and then 400 and some million if you take the overall impact. But I think it's impossible to judge the real impact, which is, as somebody put it, cachet. It puts us in the top tier of cities. First time any convention, political convention, has been in Florida since 1972, when Miami Beach had both of them. And we have broken through that barrier now, and I guess looking ahead maybe to a Democratic National Convention.
Please, Jack, please.
It's going to be, one is going to be attained on your watch, believe me.
Only if I'm the nominee. But you think about it, you know, 10 billion with a B, mentions of Tampa and Tampa Bay in the international media. I mean, not only is that short-term economic impact, that $400 million, important, but the long-term residual effect of hosting an event like that and doing it in the face of a hurricane and doing it better than anyone has ever done it before, that's going to pay dividends for us for a long time.
Already has,
yes,
because they're saying that the Bollywood acquisition, which is huge, and I don't think most people understand how big the Bollywood thing is, that this is the first time ever in the United States, and it's a worldwide event. The fact that you had to go against Dubai, and I've forgotten who the other one was, but another international city to win it. It wasn't New York against Dubai, it wasn't LA against Dubai, it was Tampa against Dubai, and that's huge.
It's great, it's great. And you know, you think about upcoming Super Bowls, and you know, we're going to pursue the National NCAA Football Championship.
Yep.
So there's a lot of activities that we will get. We won't get them all, but we will get a lot because of the success of the RNC, because of the success of the previous Super Bowls, because of the great job I know we're going to do with Bollywood. You know, that means heads in beds, room nights. It means tourist development tax being revenue. It means our city, our little city, Jack, of 30 years ago is now playing in the big leagues, and we've come into our own.
Yeah, I came here in 1970, and the turnaround is rather dramatic. One other thing I might want to mention, too, is we're going to have a new apartment tower in downtown Tampa. Yeah, 2 of them coming up, and that's going to be, it's going to start changing the skyline, and I think in the not-too-distant future, the fact that we're getting out of the economic doldrums now, I think you're going to see perhaps another tower coming in the not too distant future, office tower.
Yeah, those towers last week, and I'm thankful that City Council approved them, will generate 1,000 more residents in downtown Tampa. There's another one that's been approved that will generate another 350 units. And so downtown's come alive. We're not asking anybody's permission anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got that throttle down. We took these years in the recession to get ready for this moment, and we're going. And we are absolutely going. So stay with us. Don't miss a single Mayor's Hour. This is better than Duck Dynasty. And this is the equivalent of Uncle Si.
There you go. That's me. Howdy, folks.
We are happy, happy, happy. We'll see you next month.